Okay, this is the baby get up. Cameron, I'd like you to go down to your right hand side, please. Okay, so the baby get up's purpose is twofold. I'm just going to get you to go straight there. I want you to put this leg here. And we're going to turn your foot into that position. The baby get up is twofold. I use the baby get up to improve rolling of flexion and rotation of one corner of the trunk towards another. And we do that in this particular way by placing that hand there. We set him up so that that foot is locking this leg from moving, so it can't move. We give him a little bit of tibial internal rotation, which winds up that tension, and we ask him to keep that leg in that position. Don't let me push that leg out. Gotcha? Okay. This hand we go to a bent elbow, and I want you to rotate that arm down as far as you can. Where does that resistance come in? Okay. As soon as you get to that position, I now need you to sit up and finish the movement into that direction and lay back down again. Okay. Now I'm going to give Cameron an external cue. Cam, I need you to hit my hand with your fingertips. Go ahead. And lay back down again. I'm just going to correct that. Now, if I want Cameron to improve that hip and sacro-iliac joint proximal stability, I just have to give him an external cue which moves around to this position so that he naturally will externally rotate through that pelvis there. If he does that, he gets a very stable hip and pelvis, which gives him a firm base from which to rotate around. So the axis of rotation ends up being pelvis and hip across to that shoulder. When he down rotates there, he spirals that humerus into the joint. When it spirals into the joint, he gets maximum joint compression. When he gets joint compression, he gets a beautiful connection to the ground and a very stable hip, and he can now rotate and flex around that axis of rotation. Cam, go ahead and push that hand down and touch my hand there. Sit up and lay that down again. From that position, go ahead and do it at 3/4.
So all the way. Just
get to my hand. Hold. What part of your body feels like it's working hard right now?
Hip.
Which hip?
Left.
Left hip out there? Good, pop it back down again. When Cameron draws his attention to that left hip, he becomes aware of the stability that he's gaining out of that left hip. I'm going to make you do a half, and you are not going to finish that movement. So start to bring it down. Hold. What part of you is working really hard now?
Shoulder.
Which shoulder?
Right.
Right shoulder. Lay on back down again. So we've got proximal stability here and here, which allows him to express that mobility across this pathway. The baby get up is also then used in a second way. And the second way is to facilitate the Turkish get up roll to elbow post. And the difference between the two is that if you did the first one, he stays in a flexed position. Go ahead and touch this hand here. Now, go back down again. If we do the second one, when you come up to this position, I want you to then poke that chest through so that you're in a very extended position of the trunk. I'm going to poke that chest so that it's poking up towards the sky.
And still through.
Go ahead, step. Now he changes from a flexed and rotated trunk position to a flexed, rotated, and then extended. So he's changing the direction, and that's a more complex pattern, but it does support the Turkish get-up pattern. Lay back down again. So the baby get-up can be used to improve rolling in a flexion rotation. It's isolating you in that pattern whilst stabilising those two axis points. Or you can use it to practice the Turkish get-up element of roll to elbow post. And that's the baby get-up. There's an advantage about here. If you can lay on your back for a moment and place your right up, both arms over the top of your head, I'd like you to roll onto your back by reaching obliquely across your body. Sorry, roll onto your stomach by reaching obliquely across your body with your left hand. Go ahead. Good. And let's go ahead and roll back on your back. Just get back into that starting position. What we noticed is that Cam has a right hip flexion. If you dial the video back, you'll see that that occurred. We haven't set him up for that, but sometimes when you have a faulty pattern in a flexion rotation from the upper body, you'll get a right hip, which will help. So go ahead and lay on your side again, in the baby get up position. This position here locks out the unwanted movement. He can't use that hip to flex to help him. So now, without him thinking about it, we just locked it out and caused him to isolate that pattern in that position. If Cameron was not providing the right axial stability across that axis, I'm going to facilitate that not through any internal voice cues, but through the language of feel, which is what his body operates on. Cam, I need you to touch my hand and don't let me push that knee in. Okay, lay back down again. Does that feel different to you? How does it feel different?
Forcing more external rotation.
Forcing more external rotation. So he didn't think about that. I didn't say give me a clam. I didn't say contract glute max or glute med or tighten up your transverse abdominis. I just said don't let me do that. So I give him an external cue. Push that against my hand and sit up. And then lay that down. And then I draw his attention to the part of the body that's working, and that's called augmented feedback. That improves the activity in the brain, but it doesn't direct the cue to the conscious mind. And that's the baby get up.